Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Hey, what's going on, guys? Today is Friday, which means we don't have to work tomorrow. And if you do have to work tomorrow, quit your job. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. What's going on in Orlando? Need to close above the 50 EMA on the 4-hour to bullish for me. I noticed that, actually. A lot of people are talking about that. Let me pull it up. Bitcoin, 88.46 and 80 cents. Looking good. Let's get that 50 up here. Bam. We've got, is that the 50 or the 200? 50, I'm going to change the color. I'm going to change it to, let's change it to that, like yellowy. Yeah. So we are sitting at around 88.5. We get above 88.5, we are going to be in the green for that 50 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. Let's go back to Vu Manchu. All right, Bitcoin 88.62. Let me put this on here, 88.5. And I'm at 50 EMA on the 4-hour. Close above for mid, I don't know, medium time frame. Cool. All right, let's see what happens. So, liquidation heat map, refresh. Hope you guys have a sick weekend ahead. And if you don't, then now you do. I've made up my mind. It has been spoken. 88.563. 88.563. That's just right above that spot where we want to go. I'm going to go all the way up here, 97.74. Now, we know not to usually trust weekend pumps, so if we do pump, we're going to plan accordingly, just for safety. 87.113, because there's been a lot of trading opportunities this past month, and I feel like we have not taken advantage. 84.212. So it's time to buckle up and lock in, see if we can make some money out of all this volatility. Bitcoin 87.988 and 70 cents. We are down 0.17% since the daily close. RSI looks good. It's sitting right above 50. Momentum wave has a green dot pointing to the upside. We do have some consecutive positive money flow, and we are currently positive right now, which is a big deal. People are pointing out that 50 moving average because it kind of does one of these. They're pointing out that we got 3 hits so far. 1, 2, 3, and these lines happen to correlate perfectly with that. Now this one, there was no structure. It tried to go straight up and it failed. This one built a little bit of structure and then tried to go straight up and it failed. This one we've built much more consistent structure. And now we're building our base right below, so it might be a lot easier to crack that moving average. Now that we've got strength and what I like to call scaffolding closer to our zone that we're trying to break. Saeed said, hi sir, what's going on, Saeed? Happy Friday, my friend. Or Saturday, if it's Saturday for you, I'm not sure. But yeah, 4-hour time frame, we got a green dot on the momentum wave. Positive money flow, it's a big deal. I would not be surprised to see a slight, I just moved that on accident, a slight retrace and then a pop. If we are going to break that, that would not surprise me. Dominance 59.62, looks like it's potentially rejecting 60, which is huge. That's exactly what we wanted to see. We talked about that. You know, we came up here, we broke above it, and then we failed, and then started this little baby downtrend, and then it came up. And now this is technically establishing an uptrend, which is bearish, actually. But it could, that doesn't mean that it's going to go straight down. It could do one of these and then go down later. But what we want to see is a breakdown sooner, personally, because I'm not a patient man. I would love to see this just go down below 59 and continue to the downside from there. Tom Salk Scout said, sup, so 150K tomorrow? 150K tomorrow, indeed. Not financial advice. Number go up, though. We do like number go up. What I like about this dominance setup is we also have a head and shoulder in the RSI, which isn't always 100% tradable, but it does look good for some downside right there. We'll see what happens. ETH down 0.12% on the day, currently trading at $29.75 and 98 cents, seemingly having trouble getting above 3K. But that's not a big deal. Volume looks great. RSI looks amazing. We got a bullish cross over the moving average on the RSI. Bullish cross. Hang on. Bullish cross. Retest. Confirmation as support. Continuation to the upside. Looks great. Let me redraw that just for my brain. We got our bullish cross. Support confirmation. Continuation. Love it. So with that being said, money flow on ETH has been positive for the entire month of December. That is a big deal. We also have a green dot on the momentum wave pointing to the upside, which just crossed bullish as well. Same situation here. I don't know if the moving average is in play on this one, actually. Let me pull it up really quick. Moving average. Bam. Yes. Ooh, look at that. They're converging as well. So, interesting. Where's the last time? Back here? So I'm wondering if we're going to have something like this, where you get your bearish cross and then you get a bullish cross, and it just skyrockets like that. Because that kind of looks like what we're heading for, which would put us early January for a breakout on ETH, if that's going to be the case. But we are sitting right there with those two moving averages converging at about 3,012. So we'll see if those cross and maintain, and if ETH can get above the 50. Right now, everything else looks great. Green dot, point to the upside, just crossed bullish. We talked about that. Let's get above 3K. Sol is down 0.65% on the day, currently trading at 125.44. Sol, I would like to see, it's definitely in a downtrend now, like a descending channel even. And I don't know when it's going to break out to the upside. So I'm going to, I guess, put this channel here, kind of going off of the wicks, I suppose. And we'll see where we end up. But getting above that upper trend line, I think, is going to be a big deal. I do like the consolidation of our momentum wave. A lot of green dots down there as well. I like it on the lower half of the chart, because that means when we pop off to the upside, it's going to have plenty of room to go. We did get a bullish cross over the moving average in the RSI, which is also on the lower half, consolidating. Money flow is green as well on Market Cipher, so the potential is definitely there for Solana. Total threes down 0.37% on the day, currently trading at 830.85. If we continue to the upside from here, then my $800 billion total three call will have been spot on. But only if we climb out of this bear market that we find ourselves in currently. But 830.81, let's see if we can get back above this trend line, this lower trend line that goes back to, I want to say, August of 2024. Let's go to the daily. October of 2023, so even further. Or, actually, nope, I lied. This one goes to August of 2024. Okay, so that is correct. Interesting. Unfortunately, I'm slowly realizing that these look like those spider lines that CryptoFace uses. Maybe there's some science to it. I don't know. I think it's all a psychological coincidence, if I'm being completely honest. Look at how much more volume we got here, too. It definitely looks like it's gearing up for a move. A big pop a move, if you will. Looking good. Let me go down to the 4-hour again. ADA is down 0.8% on the day, currently trading at 37.37. Whoops. Let's see. Can we get above 38 next? Because we got this temporary point of confluence based on what? Probably just these areas. Who knows how far I got to go back to find it again. Yeah, see, 36 is definitely going to be relevant. 32.71. So I would love to stay above 36. I would love to break above 38. Perhaps my argument here would be that we failed, broke below, got right back above, no problem. Rejected here. We're either going to retrace to the yellow line or to the green line, and then bounce from there. That would be my bullish case scenario. We're trying to estimate the next move. But I would love to see ADA back above 38 cents. RSI looks great. Bullish cross over the moving average yesterday. Still in play. Perhaps potentially rejecting 50. Coming back down for a positive test of that moving average to continue to the upside. And no positive money flow yet, but we do have a green dot on market cipher on the momentum wave pointing to the upside. So the upside potential is in play, and it is relevant. SNAC is up 0.58% on the day, currently trading at 0.001. We have regained a zero, ladies and gentlemen. We have regained a zero. Hopefully, this is a bull flag, and we continue to the upside. Would love to see 15 next. Get a nice little 50% explosion to the upside. I'll tell you what, I am accumulating. This big fat cloud on the lower half of market cipher, 2 green dots confirmed. Love to see it. We're still not even cross bullish yet. RSI dancing around that moving average. We're coiling up. Look at that. Come on, tell me that's not a coiled up flag right there. That's gonna pop to the upside. I hope that's the case. But it looks good. I will say, as much as I crap on crypto.com, it is nice having a centralized exchange, because I don't trade any kind of decentralized anything on my phone at all. I refuse to even try to get a mobile wallet. I'm very paranoid and safeguarded about my long-term bags. So when I want to, cheat day DCA some snack while I'm at work or whatever, out on the go, I can just load up crypto.com and buy it that way. I will not shill an affiliate link for them because I don't want anything that they have to offer. But props to them for listing snack. I respect them in that regard. Kelvin said, happy holidays, everyone. This past year felt like a bear market. LOL. Stay blessed. Absolutely. Happy holidays, Calvin. Appreciate you. Cheers. And I agree, this past year definitely felt like a bear market. XRP down 0.51% on the day, currently trading at 189.97. We got a nice bounce. I'm going to call it off of 180. Yeah, nice bounce off of 180. We're attempting to hopefully reclaim $2. We're at 189.98 though, like I said. Bullish cross over the moving average and the RSI. I'm going to call this bullish cross and then retrace confirmation as support. We just broke above 50, and we look like maybe we're curling back down to test that moving average again. Your momentum wave on market cipher is also just crossing over the midpoint. Green dot in play. No positive money flow yet, but money flow is still negative, but volume looks decent. And we do have this lower trend line that's kind of a tease at the moment. We'll see if we end up touching it or doing a little fake out below it like we did in the past. But as of right now, looking like potential recovery, hopefully above $2. We'll have to wait and see. Lunk is up 0.05% on the day. I joked about shorting this yesterday, as well as Solana. Told you guys I'm notoriously bad at shorting, so whenever I say, oh, this would be great to just open up a forever short on this, it's probably a great time to buy. I am so bad at shorting. I try not to do it because of how bad I am at it. And I think I've had maybe 3 or 4 successful shorts the entire year. Volume has kind of sustained itself. We got this spike, the Do Kwon sentencing spike, and it's still sitting significantly higher than when it was back here, so that's good. Let's see if we can maintain any kind of semblance of price action. We got a big fat cloud on the lower half of market cipher. Money flow is negative, though. And, I don't know, your RSI is riding that moving average, so there's potential. Definitely trade potential, at the very least. H-bar, down 0.94% on the day, currently trading at 11.093. Little bounce off of 10. I'm going to call it 10.5. Nice consecutive green candles. Volume looks great. RSI got bullish cross and continuation. Potentially rejecting 50, coming back down to retest that moving average. Green dot confirmed on market cipher at the Pico bottom. Well, 2 candles up from it. So we'll see if that continues to the upside. Looks good, though. Looks great, actually, honestly. This thing looks pretty oversold. SWI is down 0.1% on the day, currently trading at 146.69. Nice. Rejecting, as of right now, it looks like 148 or 150. That's going to be a psychological level. Our point of confluence seems to have a little more influence based on the candle versus just $1.50, which is right above that. So that's interesting. We got RSI looks a little bit different here. We got a rejection and then a cross after doing a little double bottom in the oversold territory right here. Looking just like this, but on a bigger scale and a larger, like instead of failing right here like this did, we got a little retrace and then continuation, which is maybe what this was supposed to do. I don't know. But looking good. Let's see if that RSI bounces off of 50 or has to come all the way back down to that moving average. I like it. I do. Getting above 148 and eventually 150 is going to be a big deal for SWE again. Nice little triple bottom action going on, though, on a larger time frame. So I don't hate it. Actually looks pretty decent. Ondo is down 0.58% on the day, currently trading at 39.95. Can I get it back above 40? That's going to be a nice psychological level as well. Volume almost non-existent. RSI looks bleak. Maybe rejecting 50. Coming back down to retest that moving average. Get a little climb up out of that. I feel like Ondo has a ton of potential because of all the talks of RWA, but no one's talking about them right now. And part of me, my little conspiracy tinfoil hat brain, wants to think that that's because they are buying. They're accumulating at the lows. I could be totally wrong. I guess my biggest concern with all of this whole adoption scenario is that Wall Street, instead of utilizing the infrastructure that's already here, is just going to build their own. Because why wouldn't they? You know what I mean? Especially if you're handling people's money. Could you imagine the global, like, I don't even know what you would call it, epidemic that would occur if, let's say, the entire blockchain went on like Ethereum or SWE or Solana and that network just rubbed entirely? Or even if just something bad happened for like a day. Wall Street would freak out. Banks would run with that. Cryptocurrency fumbles the stock market or, you know, whatever. So it makes sense, at least from an infrastructure standpoint in my brain. JJ dipping off camera for a little nose. For them to build their own infrastructure. So maybe Ondo is a good idea. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Ondo, Offdo. You decide. Arrow currently up 1.38% on the day. Pickle Rick said just starting. I concur. Currently chilling at 50.61 cents. I like that we're back above 50. That's a big deal. What's awesome about Arrow, you know, it was incredibly oversold down here. You got a double bottom oversold on the RSI. Bullish cross, continuation. Confirmed green dot on Market Cipher. And look at this cloud just on the lower half of Market Cipher. That is coiled up and ready to bust. That is what you want to see. It goes all the way back to right here. As soon as it started blowing down and it establishes monstrous cloud, I don't know. It's satisfying to look at after the fact. You know, you can't figure out that that's going to happen during, but once it's concluded, it's very impressive to look at. So I love the green dot. Loved it. We're about to cross bullish. RSI looks great. Also about to cross the 50 point. Let's see if we can stay above 50 and maybe head to 55. That'd be a big deal. Stellar. Chilling around 21.96. Pickle Rick said, okay, cool. I made it on time. A drunk lady just hit my fence. Damn. That sucks. I saw a crazy accident on the way here. Or on the way home. I guess crazy maybe isn't the right word. These people turned onto the road that I was driving on, and they turned too wide, and they just smashed into the two cars that were in the turning lane to go the opposite direction, and his front driver's side wheel was just like whoa, somewhere else, like hanging off the car. It was crazy, and he was facing the wrong way in the turning lane. All three of them had their hazards on. Like, it just happened. I drove by, I was like, damn, that sucks. Luckily, nobody got hurt. Stellar, 21.95, right before Christmas, too. Ooh, I didn't even think about that. That sucks so bad. We got a nice bounce off of 20, essentially. Currently sitting at 21.95, like I said. RSI looks great. You got a bullish cross, retest, confirmation, continuation, just crossed above 50, perhaps retesting that. Otherwise, maybe it'll come down and retest your moving average. Green dot on your momentum wave pointing to the upside on market cipher. Nice big fat cloud, a little accumulation cloud. See if we can get a continuation. Volume looks good as well. We're gonna skip polka dot. Fartcoin was quite impressive today. I think it was up 16%. Yeah, look at that. I literally joked yesterday on stream. I was like, we should just full port into Fartcoin. And I think Fartcoin outperformed the rest of the market today. I was like, I got home and I looked, I was like, damn, I should have actually done the meme. What's cool is up at the Pico bottom right here, literally at that exact bottom, you got a confirmed green dot on market cipher. Not quite a cloud, but you got a double bottom and confirmed green dot pointing to the upside. Can we get back above 30? We're sitting at 28, 23 right now. I'm going to call it bounced off of 25. 25 is like right here, but I'm going to say we bounced off of 25. A little fake out below. That's a nice psychological level. Volume could be a little bit better, but it is Fartcoin, so do with that information what you will. Bullish cross over the moving average in the RSI. Also, Pico bottom right here. Same exact spot. All three of these things occurred. So the question is it going to continue? I think that's entirely possible. I'm not going to say for sure, though. You do have a higher low. So, like I said, the longer term potential is always going to be there. It looks good right now. This is what I see, actually. You get your red, and then your bounce, and then your explosion. That is probably exactly what's happening right here. Ooh. Yeah, tomorrow might be fun, dude. Tomorrow and Sunday might actually be fun for some of these coins. Look at that. You could really map this out. You got your little trough, and then your V, your support and continuation. I mean, you could call that a little trough, maybe. It's kind of cheating. Maybe it's not a trough. I got a little carried away. Excuse me. We'll see if it gets above 30 though, and then starts to climb. Looks pretty good. CAS up 0.44% on the day. This previous upper trend line coming into play finally. We're getting some support off of that. Can CAS redeem itself and get back above 5 cents? Currently sitting at 43.53. RSI got a bullish cross over the moving average. And I'm actually going to say that it got the bullish cross on Tuesday. And then you got 1, 2 retest, continuation to the upside. So that also looks good. Pith. Not a whole lot going on here. Green dot on the momentum wave, pointing to the upside. Or I'm sorry, green dot on market cipher and on the momentum wave. But confirmed green dot on market cipher way back here. And then you got bearish engulfing. And then technically, I would call that bullish engulfing. But it's several candles kind of pretty much retracing that entire red candle, which is awesome. You know, worst case scenario, you retrace your break even, everybody's happy. RSI kind of stalling out at the 50 level. We'll see if it comes back down to retest that moving average break. Yeah, the cloud on your momentum wave on market cipher has been on the sold half for a extended period of time since mid-November. So potential's there for sure. Avalanche down 0.41% on the day, currently trading at 12.21. Tom Salt Scott said, "Guy will make a fractal out of anything." There are fractals everywhere in life. Life is a fractal. If you really think about it, we measure things in days, months, years, hours, seconds. Those are all fractals. Your day is a fractal. Sometimes your day is pretty similar to yesterday. Sometimes your day is completely different. But it could be similar to something that you experienced 5, 10 years ago. Or maybe none of that. Maybe it's just similar to like something that I did. Maybe your day is similar to my day that I had 324 days ago. I don't know. That's a fractal. I need life as a fractal merch. That's a good one. I like that one. Avalanche 12.21. We got our lower trend line here, which may or may not be relevant. We got candle body, fake out 1, 2, and you got your bearish engulfing right there, which was very, very bearish. I like the idea of this being like a shakeout candle, kind of, because you got bullish, and then you completely, everyone thought it was going to zero, and then it just slowly climbed back up. I don't know if this is a leverage flush followed by spot activity. That's kind of what it seems like, in my opinion. Tom Salt Scout said your butthole is a fractal. I don't know if that's true. I think that your bowel movements could be a fractal based on what you ate. You could talk about the bearish divergence, maybe bullish divergence, depending on the size of the hemorrhoids. Is that too graphic? I apologize. I apologize. We do have a green dot on Avalanche, same location as I think Pith. Yeah, pretty close. So the green dots are kind of on almost every single alt chart, at least on the 4-hour time frame. It's definitely getting interesting. Let's see if we can stay above this lower trend line and hopefully eventually continue back above this more legacy driven trend line above around 1325. What I don't like is this descending channel is very I don't know. It's just it screams continuation to me. I don't know if it's actually bearish though. It is a like vaguely descending channel. So I think it has bullish potential. I think that sometimes these break bullish because it is technically still a downtrend. So maybe it's going to do one of these. Break the trend entirely. That'd be cool. We'll see what happens though. There's definitely been like a trajectory change. Look at this. You got massive dump, more shallow, even more shallow. Is it going to flatten out, start going up a little bit, and then a little bit more, and then a lot of bit, and then everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, look at Avalanche is sitting at $50, and then it's going to go bam, straight up to like 100 or something. It's going to be crazy. Not financial advice. This is all just strictly speculation. RSI looks good though. Price looks good. Volume looks good. Everything looks good. Chainlink down 0.32% on the day. Currently looking like it's rejecting 1268. We got a bounce off of, what is that, 1175? Perfectly. 1175. Wow. Talk about a psychological number. Lovely. Let's see. You've been struggling to get above 1268. It was support. You lost it. Resistance once, twice now. Getting above 1268. It's going to be some semblance of important. Volume looks decent. It is actually increasing compared to pretty much the entirety of December. You got a little more of a girthy cloud right here going on with the volume, which is great. Look at this. This is the worst right here. The 12th through the 15th. That was so bad. The price didn't even really care either. It didn't even do much. But yeah, I want to see 1239 hold. And I want to see 1268 break to the upside. Green dot looks good on the momentum wave as well, pointing to the upside. RSI potentially rejecting 50. Let's see if it holds that moving average and then pushes up even higher. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Happy Friday. I'm so glad it's Friday. Pengu currently sitting at 93.91. Can we get back above 1 penny? That would be ideal. No green dots here. We got a green dot on the momentum wave pointing to the upside. Not a bullish cross yet. Still waiting. And your RSI got a bullish cross over the moving average, potentially pulling back to retest that cross and continue to the upside. Silver, another monumentous run out of silver today. Currently sitting up 2.57% at $67.15. Silver has literally never been this high in history, ever. I would like to point out, and again, it's not solidified until we get a proper rejection here, but as of right now, it's looking like you're going to be setting yourself up with some bearish divergence, which is not ideal. Not a bad thing, but it's not ideal. Now, what's great about this bearish divergence is technically does tell you that your price is going to retrace in the short term, but in the long term, it should maintain an uptrend while this RSI slowly climbs down, which eventually maybe will become oversold while silver's sitting at like $100. That'd be kind of crazy, wouldn't it? But that's all short-term time frame stuff. So, the second you get a reaction like that, you could invalidate the remainder of that concept. the fractal, completely wrong. I'm actually pleased to announce we got above our target of 62 a month early. I'm quite impressed. I really am. RSI's not even overbought. It did get a bullish cross over the moving average. Red dots like crazy. I don't think silver really gives an F about red dots right now. Look at majority of the price action has been spent on the bullish half of the indicator for market cipher. How crazy is that? There's literally almost nothing on the lower portion. Let's go take a look at gold. 67.15 for silver. Doing great. Anyone who is a gold or silver bug, congratulations, you guys. Gold currently is sitting at 43.38.669. Nice. Let's see if it gets above 43.81. Why do I have that line there? I don't remember. Oh, because it's the top of this. Okay. So that is the peak so far of like our local top. It's going to be important to get above that. Now, here's the big difference and why we could have a chance at breaking through that and continuing to the upside. This move was monstrous and it was very, very fast. And you go back to your scaffolding analogy. You just flew up here with the ladder. So you don't have, there's no room to like play around and like set some bricks, change out a window, whatever you got to do. There's no room for any of that. You came up here really quick. All you can do is climb back down. Now that you did your little scouting mission, you know what's up there. You bring your boys. Your boys show up. You guys unload. You start building the scaffolding. The scaffolding gets built. Guess what? Now you have an entire foundation up here of which you can start to work from. And then from there, you can climb even higher. Make sense? Ladder versus scaffolding. You always want the scaffolding. Scaffolding is always going to be better. It takes a little bit longer to set up, but it's worth it in the end because you can do more once you reach your, optimal height. DXY currently up 0.3% on the day, sitting at 98.71. It does look like it wants to try to not go to zero, which we kind of technically don't necessarily want. What alarms me is it looks very indicative of any of these bottoming out patterns, which bottoming out patterns do all look the same anyways. What I would want to look for is this rejection. Not this one. This one sucks. I don't want that one. I think that sucks because it goes way too high. I would like to see maybe this. I would like this to happen and then continuation to the downside. That's what I want to see, personally. But we'll see. We got green dots and all that kinds of stuff. I don't know if any of that really matters on the DXY, but we're going to point it out anyways. Market strategy, aka Big B Coffee, which I am going to, I think, take a picture in front of the Big B Coffee sign one day, just for the meme, to be honest. 165.24, still struggling to get above 167. Looks like crap. Again, though, you got to get over that mentality. It's kind of a hurdle. When you think something looks like crap, if you believe in the project long term, it's probably a great time to buy when it looks like crap. That is how probably 98% of the successful investors in the country, in the world, that's probably what differentiates them from us. They look at something like MicroStrategy or Bitcoin. That's like, the chart looks like crap. Oh no, it's going down. It's red. Everybody hates it. Whatever. Sentiment's awful. And they buy. They load up so much during peak FUD, peak fear, peak crappy sentiment. And then a year goes by, prices skyrocket, and they're loaded because they bought when nobody else was capable of buying. That is impressive, and that's why people win. That's how they win. So let's see if MicroStrategy can get back above 167. NASDAQ, what did I say? I said NASDAQ is going to recouple with the fractal, and lo and behold, that is precisely what happened. Now we have to maintain some semblance of structure here. So I want this to recouple and, at least try to be a little bit similar in order for me to maintain my confidence in the fractal. But 25,354 looking good. Honestly, it looks great. This is kind of hilarious because, you know, people probably panic sold out of that and we just instantly rebound. Looks great. RSI looks good. Momentum wave looks great. Green dot, point to the upside. Unconfirmed green dot on market cipher. I like it. S&P 500 up 0.88% on the day. This thing just keeps climbing. It might not even do the thing that I thought it might do. If I scoot this, that might have been it, guys. That might have been it. We might go up and then maybe go sideways for the entirety of the holiday. That'd be kind of nice. And then continue climbing from there. It looks pretty damn good, if you ask me. Ask Fractal 3.0, we appreciate you and your service. Dominance 59.61. Come on. I want to see this not green. I want to see this red for sure. Bitcoin, on the other hand, currently sitting at 88,149. Looking good. You guys got any questions? Got any bags you want to shill? Let me know. Happily look at whatever you guys want. Let's go through some news articles. I'm not a big fan of Finance a lot. I've seen him be like really dead wrong about a bunch of stuff way too many times for me to really care about what he has to say. But if he's right, he's right. And this time he is right. When it comes to yesterday's CPI data, it was pretty much just like fudged info that we can't really use for anything. We've got literally everything except gasoline and cars were measured. Everything else they assumed 0 for October and November, apparently. Which is why that number went down. They just made an assumption. Polymarket posted, the Department of Justice will reportedly not be releasing the full Epstein files to Congress today. Despite legal requirement, there is proposed community note. They were released today by the Department of Justice. Now, I don't know if anyone's had the chance to really pay attention to that. Like 90% of the documents are redacted. Like fully redacted. Like big black box. Like this kind of redacted. Like gone. That this is this is what you see on 90% of the pages. Just nothing. That's crazy. So I thought that was kind of comical, if I'm being completely honest. And there's a little asterisk in the corner of every single page, and it's like redacted for possible protecting possible victim information. Pretty much saying we don't have the manpower to go through and do this properly because we're too busy combing the snow with our feet. So we're just going to redact the other 90% that we didn't go through. That's essentially what I think went down, which is comical. Unusual Whales posted AI used as much water this year as the entire bottled water industry and generated carbon emissions comparable to those of New York City, per The Verge. That is crazy. What's nice about AI water is it doesn't have to be like filtered drinkable. I think. I know that they can't use like salt water, but water's water. Eventually it all evaporates anyways, and then goes back into the ocean and the lakes and the streams and the ponds and whatever. Watcher Guru posted 72% chance the Supreme Court rules President Trump's tariffs are illegal according to Polymarket. That's going to be crazy. Now, here's what I would like to see. If this is my worst case scenario, which I think would end up being good for the markets overall if tariffs were ruled illegal. But worst case scenario for Trump, because I don't mind the tariffs. It's a one-time little inflation bump and then it's done. And then you're collecting a crap ton of revenue. And everyone's like, oh, it's a tax. Yeah, it's a tax. I'm sorry you don't want to have to pay a little more extra money for importing your freaking Porsche or whatever. I don't buy shit that's imported. Everything that I buy is free of tariffs because I buy stuff that's in the country, which is, that's totally fine. I have nothing against people buying stuff from another country, but if you're going to buy stuff from another country, you're going to have to pay a premium. It's just that simple. Sorry. And if that helps offset taxes, that's even better because I don't want to have to pay for your dumbass ordering a Porsche. Why is that my problem? I think that's great. I think it's a great idea. Mr. Roberts said hello. Hello, Mr. Roberts. So here's what I think. If, this is hypothetical again, if the Supreme Court comes out and says tariffs are illegal, you can't do them, I don't think they are going to retroactively make him give all that money back. I think that they would, and this is what I guess I would suggest, maybe not think, I would suggest that they, if they're going to make them illegal, that they do it from like this point forward, maybe like January 1st, 2027 or whatever, whenever they get around to making their decision, because it takes them like 7 months to make one simple stupid decision. But that would be my assumption, my little thought. Senate confirms pro-crypto Michael Selig as CFTC chairman. Just in $3.15 billion worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum options expire today. Delaware Supreme Court officially reinstates Elon Musk's $56 billion Tesla pay package from 2018. Damn. That's pretty sick. I cannot help but notice the Tesla logo looks like a goofy t-shirt, like a leotard t-shirt thing. That's all that I see. And it kind of cracks me up. I kind of want to Photoshop like myself into it. just to see, because I think it'd be pretty funny. It'd be a good meme. Maybe I should just make the leotard t-shirt thing and wear it like a weirdo. Damn, it's like a weird like Dragon Ball Z meets like ballet. Oh, can you tell I'm tired? It's Friday. Marty Party posted, Bitcoin is exiting deep oversold territory and entering a recovery phase, according to the NVT Golden Cross indicator. I am honestly all for it. They don't look back at the fractal that I pulled, but they do look back at the one from the previous bottom before the last one, which is interesting. We also got Marty Party. Citi and JP Morgan published bullish near-term price scenarios for Bitcoin. Citi's 12-month base target is $143,000. Optimistic is $189,000. Bearish, $78,000. Citing easing regulation, growing adoption, and U.S. policy momentum. JP Morgan projects roughly $170,000 within 6 to 12 months, arguing deleveraging in perpetual futures is likely complete and Bitcoin is attractive on a risk-adjusted basis versus gold. Both banks acknowledge recent sharp volatility and liquidations, but said market structures and institutional positioning point to meaningful upside. Hell yeah. Tom Selleck said Tesla Mankini. That's all that I see, dude. I literally can't unsee it. I like noticed it 2 days ago, and now that's all I think about whenever I see the logo. We got macro U.S. U.S. existing home sales 4.13 million actual, 4.15 million expected, so it came in lower. 4.11 million previous. Interesting. Trump live. The only reason our unemployment ticked up to 4.5% is because we are reducing the government workforce by numbers that have never been seen before. 100% of our new jobs are in the private sector. I could reduce unemployment to 2% overnight by just hiring people into the federal government, even though those jobs are not necessary. Honestly, I'm all for this. I don't really give a crap about the numbers. I think the government should be reduced. I think we're wasting so much money on useless things. So, props to that. Enter when others get liquidated. We just had the largest liquidation events in history. That is the way to do it, honestly. Pentagon fails annual audit for the 8th year in a row, according to Reuters. Humans cannot be trusted with money, hence blockchain. Of course. Kobe Dealer posted, the U.S. is innovating at an unprecedented rate. There are 62 technology companies in the U.S. reporting net annual profit above $1 billion, by far the most of any country. This is over 4 times more than in the world's second largest economy, China, which has 15 such tech firms. In the U.S., there are 21 more global tech firms than China, Japan, Taiwan, and the Eurozone combined. Really? Among the world's 10 largest companies, 8 are U.S. technology firms. Meanwhile, among the top 10 most innovative companies, 8 are based in the U.S. US tech dominance is an understatement. That's pretty crazy. Next, we got the rush for gold by central banks is unprecedented. Unofficial gold purchases and by global central banks is up to 9,500 tons since 2010. This is 3,700 tons, or plus 64% more than officially reported purchases by these entities. Unofficial buying accelerated in 2022, and since then, central banks have accumulated 3,500 tons of gold for 37% of total purchase since 2010. China alone bought 118 tons of gold in Q3 2025, marking a 55% year-over-year increase. Money Metals estimates China's gold reserves jumped to a record 5,411 tons last quarter, far above the 2,304 tons officially reported by its central bank. Central banks are still stocking up on gold. GE Mortal said, "Hi JJ, you got boxing results? What is this for the Jake Paul thing?" Live results, round by round updates, ring walks, tonight's fight, I guess let's see if Yahoo Sports can function without murdering my computer. Main card, 8 p.m. Oh, so it's actually Eastern time. Yeah, it's going on already. Or maybe it's done. Paul 12-1-7 chaos is running, blah blah blah. Uncrowned has Jake Paul live results round by round. Where do I see it? Am I ridiculous? Apparently, according to Uncrowned, a Paul win would be the biggest upset in sports history. Do we not know yet? Mr. Robert said, "Ooh." Boxing results. Paul versus Joshua. Estimated ring walk Friday at 10:30. Okay, so Friday at 10:30 p.m. is the estimated ring walk, apparently. So no, I have nothing. Nothing yet. I actually, is that stupid if I watch it? I kind of want to watch it. Even though it's rigged to hell, allegedly, not financial advice. All right, let's go take a look at ooh for Mr. Browers. Energy Fuels, New York Stock Exchange, 1520. Okay, so we got a little chop sideways out of this lower trend line, which the lower trend line was not gospel. We had 2 points of confluence. Big deal. We could reestablish this trend right here, and that looks pretty decent. So perhaps that's the trend. RSI got a bullish cross over the moving average on yesterday, and sitting well above 50, right around 75 actually. It looks like it bounced off of 75. Or no, I'm sorry, 58. So 60 is what's at the 75 portion of this. I forgot that this doesn't go up to 100. This is at 70, and then 100 is way the hell up here. It's like a weird skewed scale. So yeah, we got a rejection at 62.5, bounce off of 60. Unconfirmed green dots on market cipher, green dots on the momentum wave, pointing to the upside. We did just cross bullish there as well. I kind of like it. Nice steady uptrend, and you also got double bottom potential here. Double bottom right there. I could maybe try to sell you on a little inverse head and shoulder action, maybe. A little fugly inverse head and shoulders. I don't know. I kind of like it. I would love to see this thing get above. You got clear resistance, overhead resistance at around 16 and 1677. So get above those, and then we can start talking more. I do like the trend line, yes. The trend line is nice. You got your 3 dips, 1, 2, 3, 3 hits to the downside. And if you don't break, I feel like I've seen it bounce pretty hefty off that more times than not. So yeah, get above 16 bucks. You got room to go still, even now. Bitcoin's chilling. Central bank stocking up on gold. G Immortal said, "What's your opinion about the effect of wash sales December 31st and tax refunds February and crypto prices? Thanks." Um, I don't remember if it was really bad for the last half of the month or not, or if they got them out of the way just at the beginning of the month. I feel like most of the wash trading, if I had to guess, has already taken place, but I am literally just guessing. People might literally wait until the last day of the month just to see. I don't know, but definitely a thing. Is it enough to affect the markets negatively? I don't think so, honestly. At the rate that we've already been going, I don't see it really doing too much. Mr. Roberts said I have about 2% of my portfolio in there at a slight loss at the moment. Okay. Yeah, it seems to want to hold support, so that's good. All right, next we've got the Bank of Japan raises interest rates by 25 basis points to a 30-year high as inflation remains elevated. So Bank of Japan is officially at 0.75, I believe. Has not been there since the 90s. China is dominating the worldwide race for power. China now has a record 3.75 terawatts of power generation capacity. That capacity has doubled over the last 8 years. This is nearly 3 times more than the US, which has 1.3 terawatts of capacity. Furthermore, China has 34 nuclear reactors under construction, more than the next 9 countries combined. Nearly 200 other reactors are planned or proposed. At the same time, there are currently no large commercial nuclear reactors under construction in the United States. Really? The US must act now to keep up with China? Telling you guys, nuclear stocks I think are going to be huge. Energy sector has been kind of decimated, but I think that there's potential for some pretty decent upside, if I'm being completely honest. Kobayashi later posted further evidence of weakening labor market. The number of Americans employed part-time for economic reasons jumped 909,000 in October and November to 5.5 million, the highest since March 2021. This counts workers who want full-time jobs but cannot find them, usually because hours were cut or full-time work is unavailable. Since June 2022, the number of people working part-time for economic reasons has risen 1.9 million, or 51%. As a consequence, this metric now represents 3.2% of the total labor force, the highest since May 2021. This is in line with the levels seen at the beginning of the 2008 financial crisis and above the 2001 recession peak of 3%. The labor market needs rate cuts. Honestly, an emergency rate cut, I think that'd be pretty crazy. Nice volatility off that. Markets are making history today. A record 7.1 trillion worth of options on stock indexes, ETFs, equity index, futures, and individual stocks are estimated to expire during today's trading session. This includes 5.1 trillion notional of S&P 500 options, 320 billion of S&P 500 ETF options, and 880 billion of single stock options. Furthermore, 805 billion worth of non-S&P 500 index and ETF options are set to expire. December OPX is historically the largest expiration of the year. This December sets a record exceeding 10% of the total equity market size for the first time. Brace for significant intraday volatility. Honestly, that was 9 hours ago. I'm pretty sure that came and went. We got pretty pumpy, like all around. So I'd say that's a success. Silver surges above 67 an ounce for the first time in history, now up 133% this year. That's crazy, crazy. Nobody ever could have told me that, and I believe them. The U.S. consumer sentiment divide is widening. Sentiment among consumers earning less than $50K has fallen steadily over the past year to near the lowest level since early 2024. Among those earning $50K to $100K, sentiment has also declined, though by a smaller margin, to the lowest since early 2025. Meanwhile, consumers earning over 100K have maintained a much higher optimism during the period. I wonder why. That's literally because they can afford to not have work for a little while. As a result, the sentiment gap between the lowest, highest, and highest earners has widened to the largest in at least 7 years. Lower income consumers are under serious pressure. I wonder why. Breaking 9 of the largest U.S. and European-based drug makers have signed a deal with President Trump to lower drug prices and avoid tariffs. This list includes Merck, Bristol-Myers Squibb, Amgen, Gilead, GSK, Sanofi, Roche's Genentech, Boehringer Ingelheim, and Novartis. Of course. Boehringer Ingelheim. That's great. That's a good one. The U.S. Pentagon has failed its annual audit for the 8th straight year. The Pentagon now has $4.65 trillion in assets alongside $4.73 trillion in liabilities. Dang, that's a lot of money. Breaking in a massive ruling, the Supreme Court of Delaware rules that Elon Musk's $56 billion 2018 pay package must be reinstated. Damn, what an epic blow to Tesla. Is that Tesla or is that someone else? I'm assuming it's Tesla that has to pay him. Next, latest. The Blockchain Association and major crypto firms urged the U.S. Senate not to restrict stablecoin rewards, calling them distinct from interest and critical for competition. Very cool. Terraform Labs filed a $4 billion lawsuit against Jump Trading over alleged market manipulation linked to the 2022 Terra collapse per the Wall Street Journal. That's crazy. Arthur Hayes argues the Fed's new reserve management purchases are effectively quantitative easing under a different name, warning they enable unchecked money printing that could drive Bitcoin towards 200K in 2026. I actually agree. I agree with him on that. In 2025, crypto hackers stole $3.4 billion with nearly 70% of losses tied to 3 major hacks, including a $1.5 billion Bybit breach. That is actually crazy. That's so much money, dude. Brazil's main stock exchange, B3, plans to launch a tokenization platform and issue its own stablecoin for token trading and settlements starting in 2026. Very cool. Citibank forecasts Bitcoin at 143K over the next 12 months, citing rising adoption and easing crypto regulation, according to Reuters. Very cool as well. Galaxy Research expects futarchy governed DAO treasuries to top 500 million and crypto-backed loans to exceed 90 billion by the end of 2026. That is crazy. Alert, the Coinbase premium gap has fallen to minus $57, indicating heavy selling pressure from US traders. That was 5 hours ago. Update, Bitcoin has become less volatile than Nvidia stock in 2025, with Bitwise citing Bitcoin's market maturation, rising institutional ownership, and ETF inflows as key drivers. That is crazy. Next, we've got Ethereum's exchange supply has fallen to its lowest level since 2016, signaling reduced sell pressure as more ETH moves into long-term storage. Tom Lee is scooping. He is scooping hard. Cheers, guys. Happy Friday. I've been on a bit of a ramen kick lately. Like, I know people put stuff in their ramen, so I've been kind of doing that, and I kind of can't stop. I'm like obsessed with making ramen and putting stuff in it. It's very random, but I thoroughly enjoy it. Next we've got, if Bitcoin hits 93K, more than 4 billion in leveraged short positions would be liquidated. Hell yeah. Stock Money Lizards posted USDT dominance projected at 6.5% resistance. Last time stablecoins peaked at this level, altcoins were sitting at bottom. Then dominance broke down and alts rallied hard. Now, same resistance zone, same rejection. Altcoins are at support again. Money doesn't sit in stables forever. Eventually, it rotates. The setup is identical. And it actually is. Altcoins, others dominance. Got a little double bottom explosion. Right now we got a single bottom, but double top on dominance. And we got a little double top on dominance right here too with a higher high. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Technically, that would be the second bottom, or the first bottom right there. A little bit higher. Next, we got last 5 times Bitcoin was this oversold. Price doubled within roughly 3 months from Quentin. 0.48 ETH. Very nice. Interesting. Then we've got Bitcoin has never been this undervalued against global liquidity. The fractal will recouple eventually. Unfortunately, it could go both ways. What if M2 money supply just decreased to meet Bitcoin? That'd be a little problematic. It'd be kind of entertaining, though. We got Michael Vandepop posting the uptrend on altcoins is still intact. This means that there's nothing to worry. There's just been a harsh correction. However, technically, the markets are just making constant higher lows. And again, the altcoin market cap holds a crucial level of support. I think that we'll see more upside from here and that we're forming a bottom. I like that. I like that answer. I like that chart. I like that explanation. I am here for a bottom. That's for sure. Bank of Japan hikes rates to highest level in 30 years. New Scale Power, SMR. This is one of my energy stocks that they make small nuclear reactors. Formed a death cross for the first time since April. The last one marked a local bottom before shares rose 220% over the next 3 months. Will history repeat? For magnified exposure, consider the Trader 2x Long SMR Daily ETF, SMU, from Trader ETFs, sponsored. I mean, I might look into that. 2x doesn't seem too bad. Don't leverage trade, not financial advice. Don't listen to me. Or you could also use the affiliate links in the description if you want to. Platinum soars above $2,000 for the first time since 2008. Every time they bring up 2008 or like 2000, 1999 to 2000, I get a little squeamish. It kind of freaks me out a little bit. Cash is now more than 7% of total household financial assets, the most since 1950, which is pretty crazy. And last but not least, we've got stock market saying goodbye to fear. Again, second time, I think, in the past couple months. But it looks like it might stay in neutral at 45. Let's go check crypto fear and greed. I feel like it's been a while since we've looked at fear and greed. Fear and greed. Bam. 20. We are still in extreme fear. We've been consistently in extreme fear for, oh geez, over a month? Really? Wow. Since early November. Yeah, look at that. Woo. Trading around 10, 15. That sucks so bad. We'll see if we climb out of this. It's gonna be a doozy. Yeah, look at this. You get your little double bottom and then you climb out of it very nicely. This is February, March 2025. And if I go to max, yeah, see, you spend just a little bit of time on this lower chunk, and then you eventually pop to the upside. See how it goes. Let's go take a look at coin market cap as well. Their fear and greed is at 27. This thing at one point went all the way down to 10. It looks like. Yeah, 10 was the lowest. Wow. That's crazy. Nice. All right, Bitcoin 88,234 and 39 cents. Let's go do a portfolio update. The 1K to 10K Grok portfolio. It's currently $555 negative, which is 55.5% in the red, starting from the bottom. None of these assets are positive, by the way. Aptos is down 74. Fetch is down 73. Render's down 65. Ondo's down 61. Proppy's down 61. Shib is down 52. Ada's down 52. Near's down 50. Doge is down 46. And Sol is down 25. Next, we've got the meme coin portfolio, which is currently down 620 or 62%. None of these assets are in the green either. GigaChad is down 169. Nice. Snek is down 156. Pepe is down 114. Whip is down 94. And Doge is down 89. Then the narrative portfolio, my favorite and the most stable, currently down 243, which is 48.6% negative. This guy, or this portfolio is made up of one meme coin, one artificial intelligence coin, one decentralized physical infrastructure coin, one real world asset coin, and one gaming coin, and it is absolutely killing it. Starting from the bottom, Fetch is currently down 65, VeChain's down 61, Mana is down 54, Pepe's down 42, and Tau is down 22. And last but not least, we've got the perfect entry portfolio, which is currently down 472, 47.2%. Is that out? This might be actually outperforming the narrative portfolio now. None of these assets are in the green. Starting from the bottom, Render is down 69. Nice. Crypto Spaces said, good night, JJ. Good night, Crypto Spaces. I appreciate you. Happy Friday, my friend. I'm so glad it's Friday. Cheers. Gotta get that coffee. All right, Render is down 69. Nice. Avalanche is down 65. Pith is down 63. Graph is down 59. Ondo's down 56. Swee's down 53. Crow is down 39. Sol is down 31. ETH is down 24. And Link is down 18. And that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, market is pretty stable, pretty steady at the moment. You know, we had a few scares during the week, during the month actually. We will see what 2026 brings for us. Bitcoin as of right now is sitting at $88,246.78. Crypto Spaces said, can you look at the meme Shrimp, please? It's on Monad. Also, nice thumbnail. Great job. Thank you, actually. Thank you very much. I put a lot of effort into that thumbnail. I appreciate you saying that. Let's see. Deck screener. I've been trying to change up the thumbnails because I feel like they're pretty standard, but I've been pretty happy with them the past couple of days. We've got Shrimp on Monad 20. I'm going to pick the one that is, I guess, up more. No, I guess I'll pick whichever one's. Yeah, this one's 15 days. So this one says not available from when it was created. So I'm going to pick this one. 15 minutes. Let me go to the 4 hour. I might have to go back down to the 15 minutes. So the 4 hour looks nice. Sustained uptrend. Does look like there was some profit taking, but nothing crazy. Enough to bring it down from candle to candle. 66%? That's not too bad. Honestly. Let's see. You got a $94,000 market cap, 21K liquidity. That is actually amazing. What is that? Like over, what is that? 25% liquidity pool? Okay. Holders. So you got your liquidity pool right here, which is 11.96%. Which if you, I believe if you double that 11.2K, that gets you about your 21K. This probably hasn't updated yet. One of these hasn't updated. Either this one or this one. So what you do is you would put in this case, your wrapped monad or whatever. You put in $11,200 worth. And then it would, by default, purchase, or the other 50% of Shrimp would be in that liquidity pool. You also got this right here, 2.56%. Oh, so there's a bunch of these. Interesting. See these little contracts right here? They could be locked up contracts. It could be liquidity pool contracts. But essentially, these are some kind of smart contract protocol holding this entity. Or holding this asset. This much of this asset. Same with this one. And this one. So, that's what that means. Now, outside of that, you got, so I see this is not bad in my opinion. Somebody's holding 2.88%. Unfortunately, this is 10% of your available liquidity, but that's not that big of a deal. And I don't see any red flag. Usually if it's like one person with the asset divvied up amongst a bunch of wallets, it would be the same percentage amount, which they could have a bunch of wallets with like 1%, you know. Maybe they have 50 wallets all holding 1%. That's 50%. But in this case, I'm not seeing any red flags in the top 10, which is great. They're all different. Your top has always got to be your liquidity pool, in my opinion. The green flags are abundant for sure. Some people making big boy scoops. Very nice. It's not a sea of red, which is awesome. There doesn't seem to be any BS like bot market making to falsify your volume. It is fully circulating according to the fully diluted value. I mean, this has all the makings, in my opinion. 113 buyers, 103 sellers. So it's got a good market going on for it. It really does. Go check the X. I always like to check the X. People like to check the websites and stuff like that. You can get into the nitty gritty of all that stuff if you want, but I like to see how active they are on social media. It's 2025, and we're talking about cryptocurrency. You gotta have an active X account. Tishu said, "Yo, you sit down a lot, right? Since you stream, got a recommendation if you want it. Hit me." Drummer said, "Don't forget to like and subscribe, everyone." Listen to Drummer, he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, what do you got, Tishu? I was looking at stand-up desks, actually, because I want to stand up. I want to be on my treadmill, or at least standing. I feel like when I'm standing up, I have so much more energy, and I can actually do stuff, so many activities. So I think I'm gonna wait until after Christmas. I'm gonna order myself a stand-up desk. All right, let's see what this is. Ooh. Oh shoot, that's only $20 as well. Oh man, am I gonna like it? I could put it in the car too. I might have to get that. See, my only issue is, and I guess this would not be an issue if I got the stand-up desk, but my chair, my computer chair that I got, is already way too high. I'm gonna add it to the cart. I'm gonna add it to the cart for now. I use it with my ergonomic chair. It's great. $16, you bastard. Damn that inflation. Trump's out here making the cost of butt cushions go up. Tisha said, use it with my ergonomic chair. Yep. Yeah, I'd probably get that for sure with the stand-up desk. Crypto Spaces said, I'm taking a big gamble and buy 1%. Wow, I can't read. Of shrimp because people are counting out Monad and they just might cook some memes on there. Yeah, that's honestly, I think, good job calling it a gamble, because that is what it is. They got fun memes. It's very memeable. I really like it. It's actually really cute. Shit, do they have NFTs? There's a Jon Snow one. Get out of here. Come on, man. I love this. I think this is great. Shrek. Come on. I like it. I'm sold. I have very low standards when it comes to memes, especially on other chains. So all you gotta do is have a funny, cute, picture, very memeable, and I'll buy the shit out of it. But I do like it. It's actually a lot of fun. Bitcoin 88,176. Teacher said I bought a few before. The one I shared is not too soft and not too hard. It's medium. I've been thinking about the Purple brand. They make that mattress. It's like that weird rubbery purple shit. It's like a grid. I've been thinking about getting one of those. Just because I remember the commercial, the person putting the egg on the bed and sitting on it. Crypto Spaces said no NFTs, just profile pics. I can send you some. Oh, don't worry about it. It's EVM, so it goes with your ETH wallet. Yeah, no, you hang on to your shrimp. I appreciate it though. Tishu said it's probably going back to $15.99. There are others, of course, but that's the one I chose. I bought two. Nice. See, I'm such a cheap ass. I would buy one and I would just bring it with me everywhere. The purple thing was a whole mattress, but they also made a butt cushion for your chair, like your work chair. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, they got it right here. This guy. It's like a weird, and it's probably a gimmick, but it's something about it. I'm like, man, I want to touch that. There's a little sleeve that goes with it. There's a couple of different ones. Oh, they have one on Amazon. Yeah, it's like $47. That's crazy. Holy crap. I don't know. I want it though. There's something about it. They definitely just got me with the infomercial. That's all that it is. My brain is like, ooh. Like somebody does a little bit of marketing, like snake oil shit. They're like, check this out. There's an egg on here, and you sit on it, and the egg doesn't break. And I'm like, oh, I sit on eggs all the time. I hate it when I accidentally sit on an egg and it breaks. I would love for this to not break my eggs. That sounds perfect. All right, let's see. Arrows up a little bit. Market's still taking a little breather. We're probably going to be in limbo like we always are until at least Sunday morning. Let me go refresh the liquidation heat map and see if they got us in this cute little market maker range like they do. Ooh, I don't like all that. There's a lot of money to the downside. They liquidated these bears earlier, but yeah, it's been 8 hours. We might be in trouble here, guys. I don't know, 87,346. I guess it's a little bit closer. It's a little guy, though. The next closest big one is 87,078. I'm going to just put this one there. Yeah, let's see where we end up. We're at 88,217 right now. I wouldn't be surprised. Yesterday's was like right here, the range, and we just pumped and wrecked all the bears, so... Is STX a good buy? I'm never going to say yes or no, but I will go look at it, and if I'm going to tell you if I knew enough about the project to want to buy it, if the chart would be a buy for me. It's back above 25. I know I've asked before. I'm just so undecided. I don't want to lose money. I mean, yeah. I'm with you. I also don't want to lose money. So if I was looking at this, you got a confirmed green dot on Market Cipher. Green dot in the momentum wave pointing to the upside. You got a nice bullish cross of the moving average and the RSI. Retested and continued to the upside. Also looks good. So the upside potential in the short term is for sure there. Can you get back above? See, my only concern here. Can you also look at Russell, please? Yes, I can. My only concern here with STX is this, and this is not a legacy trend line. You know, it's clearly gone lower in the past. This is a lovely inverse head and shoulders. Look at that. Big boy. Ooh. And that target hit perfectly, too. Look at that. Wow, that's actually sick. What a brilliant example of a head and shoulder. So this is your neckline. That's your trough measurement. And bam. Look at that. And then it retraced a little bit. And then it went even higher. Held support at 43.12. That's so awesome. I love seeing that in the chart where it's like so glaringly obvious, like way down the road. And you're like, wow, look at how sick this TA is. It's such a goofy phenomenon. Okay, so you have this trend line. Volume looks pretty decent compared to the past. Like you got a little bit of volume and then it peters down, and then you got a lot more volume. And even when it peters down, it's still pretty significantly higher than it was back here. So that's good. Volume is maintaining itself along with the uptrend. I see a double bottom, a double bottom. I would look for a double bottom. Issue I have is we are currently below this trend line. And we have not been below it since October. Actually, if I extend this, it actually goes back even further. Jeez. We have not been below it since, I'm going to say, around July of 2020. So it's been 5 years staying above this trend line. That is my only concern. And again, it goes back to that whole situation where mentally my brain is like, ooh, this chart looks bad. But that is when you're supposed to buy to make good life-changing money. Now you can see you've had pretty consistent little double top situations with a full, I'm going to call it a bear market retrace. You got a little spike up right here, and then a full double top even higher right here, and then a bear market retrace. are you going to rinse, repeat? In theory, you have potential. I don't know, let's call it September 2026. That would be way, 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 way down the road. And you could get one of these in between as well. Maybe that is what this is. And this one led to a pretty nice immediate pump afterwards. So could I fractal that? I guess I would just do that. Yeah, no, you're already further past that point. So I don't know. I would be standoffish. I would want to see it get back above this trend line. Otherwise, I would look for support around 1990, which is 3 years before I was born. You were oversold for a hot second, potentially about to cross bullish over the moving average and the RSI, and you got a green dot in your momentum wave, which is also oversold on the 4-hour or on the daily. I'm sorry, on the daily. Ooh, on the 4-hour, yeah, you got your confirmed green dot on market cipher right around the Pico low, and bullish cross over the moving average and the RSI pushed to the upside. So the potential's there. Do with that information what you will. I don't like that it lost this trend line, but I could see that being a fake out. Your worst case scenario, in my opinion, to remain bullish, I would like to see it stay above 1990. 25 cents is going to be a nice psychological level as well. That's why that's marked. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker so it's easier to see. I'll just make it a solid line. I'll make it a different color though. Let's go purple. Yeah. 25 cents, big point of confluence. Crypto Spaces said, can you look at Russell? It's on base. Bought at 3 mil. Already took out my profits and initials and letting the rest ride to billions. Nice. Okay. Russell. Ooh. Did this just pump more? It's up 17.6%. I think it did. Yeah, this thing's breaking out. Let's go. You're getting a shrimp pamp. Very nice. What do we got? We got some big boy buys? Ooh, yes we do. Hell yeah. That's what you want to see. Yeah, motherfuckers are scooping. Scooping. Alright, Russell. 2 L's? 2 L's. Russell on base. Bought at 3 mil already. Blah, blah, blah. Market cap 11.5 mil. This is 1 year and 2 months old. There's one from 22 hours ago. That's on Solana. You said it's on base. Okay, so yeah, it's got to be this. Well, no, this one's on base from 22 hours ago as well. What the hell, man? Market cap not available. So that one might have rugged. Top one? Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh, damn. You know what? This reminds me of the cat from the yelling meme where the lady's like yelling and pointing and the cat's just sitting at the dinner table. All right. So, I mean, obviously these moves are great. You got this monstrous pump retrace, monstrous pump retrace, monstrous pump. Is it going to do one of those? Is the retrace going to be more brutal over time? I don't know. There's definitely a trajectory being set. A little precedent being set on the lower time frames for this beautiful chart. So those are frequent occurrences, those spikes. Volume could be a little bit better. Let me pull up the RSI. Okay, so $11.6 million market cap, 841,000 in liquidity. Chart looks great. It is definitely hyped up. It is overbought. You do have bearish div, but again, that's not gospel. So be careful with that bearish divergence. I want to take a look at the holder count. Number one, liquidity. That's exactly what you want to see. See what I mean? You have 833K in liquidity. Half of that is the liquidity pool. The other half is Russell. So that's what they mean. So technically, your liquidity is technically half of what it says. 833K is locked because the other half is Russell. You got Wrapped ETH and Russell, which I think in this case would just be Uniswap V2. I don't know how it works, but it's a little bit complicated. Next best, you got somebody with 3.3%. See, that's a little disheartening. Somebody could technically one-clip this entire project. CEO of Coinbase Pet Dog, nice. You got another locked scenario right here, nice. Elon replied to Russell. Elon, unfortunately, does not have the same meme coin pull as he did in the early Doge days. Hopefully that changes, but I mean, he is like the richest man in modern history. Like every other day, he gets like another couple $100 billion, which is crazy. CryptoSpaces said in Brian's tweet with his dog and his wife, nice. Yeah. As a fellow bald man, I do have to say, I think I'm legally obligated to say, I respect Brian Armstrong and Jeff Bezos. But I am mildly jealous of Elon's hair plugs. We gotta do the fundraise for the toupee, dude. We gotta get a toupee on the stream. I think that's the funniest idea. I don't remember who mentioned it. They were like, dude, if we crowdfund a wig, will you wear it on stream? I think that would be so freaking funny. So we gotta hold a whole community thing. We gotta do like a 8 to 12 hour stream, and during that stream, one of the things that we do is going to be picking and ordering a wig. I think that would be the funniest shit. So yeah. Oh, dead. Interesting. I wonder if this is some kind of funky burn wallet. That last 4 digits are DEAD. That's kind of ominous. Address copied to clipboard. Oh yeah, I think this is a burn wallet. Interesting. So they burned 2.9%. I don't know. I do not know. Let me check the X. You guys know I like my marketing, my X account. Ruslan Base CTO, the Coinbase dog, the goodest boy on base, CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong's dog, Akita Inu. Gosh, why is his neck so thick, bro? What is going on? Oh shoot, he's got the socks too. That's awesome. That's so awesome. Oh shoot, he replied to that's so good, dude. That's amazing. Went dog name reveal. That tree is a little gaudy too. Gosh, I never would have thought he would be the bougiest person in crypto. But here we are. Okay, so they are active on X. They got great material for all of this. Yeah, this is fantastic. I think this has a ton of potential. I love it. Click on Russell's reply. Let's see. You'll see Elon replied to Russell. Oh, okay. What's it, like this? We like your socks? Oh, what? Oh my God. That's so cool. That's crazy. Did they not bring attention to that? Elon just like casually fire emojiing them? They pinned this. Yeah, even Elon Musk think, okay, there we go. I was like, geez, I would be freaking out about that, dude. Are you kidding me? That's awesome. That's so cool. The richest man in modern history. I mean, he's been the richest man. Like, it's not even changing at this point. He's just getting more money somehow. But that's still pretty sick, you know. Yeah, even if you don't like the guy, you can't discount his influence and how cool that would be. John Cena followed me on Twitter. That was pretty monumental in my life. He only follows like 1 million other people, but it was still cool. He's a great guy, John Cena. Very, very cool dude. But yeah, ton of potential. just be careful. Obviously, treat it like a gamble. It is a meme coin at the end of the day. First public trillionaire says this meme is fire. We're going to billions, right? All right, folks. I think I'm going to call it an evening. Get some R&R in. We gotta finish Christmas shopping tomorrow, so it's gonna be a long day. As always, guys, when Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Join the Discord. Links in the description if you guys haven't already. Crypto Spaces said, because Elon will be the first trillionaire, he's very close. That is true. It's going to be any day now at this point, honestly. It's ridiculous how quick his net worth goes up. And you want to know why? It's because he holds. He has not sold stuff for cash. He doesn't like cash, apparently. Which is, I think, the biggest lesson here. The richest man in modern history, probably the world's first trillionaire, has almost no cash. What does that tell you? I'm just saying. Own assets or be left behind. And to that, I'm going to leave you guys. Love you. Smash the like button. Happy Friday. And good night. If you guys are traveling, travel safe. I'll see you tomorrow.